Hello, Sam Owens here. This is Snazzy 2, and we're going to install and review the Stealth tucked tag bracket and airfoil assembly. What it's going to do is take this part off that brings your tag out far, and we're going to tuck it up underneath where your tag will be right underneath the rear deck. It'll look much more streamlined and everything. You need a place that you can lay your materials out. Have either a copy of the instruction manual, or go to Paramount Plastics and pull it up from their website. I have it pulled up here, and it shows a clear diagram with all kinds of steps and arrows to point out specific areas that you need to be aware of. And so it will be very helpful in mounting this. We're gonna see if I have any difficulties. I've never really done this on this particular Stealth tucked tag bracket and airfoil assembly. Now, first thing I did is you do an inventory to make sure you got your supplies. Okay, so I got my tools, and now the first step that it tells you to do in step A is unplug the license plate light. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because there is a little safety catch that if you do not operate it, you're going to destroy the connections. Now, I've already kind of pulled it out, but if you'll see from this side right here that's up underneath the deck, you rotate it around, there's a rounded side on one side, a flat side. Go to the flat side and you can kind of see you've got to stick your fingernail, if you don't have a fingernail, a little flat tip screwdriver to pop that little locking tab out. See that? Okay, I'm pretty sure you can. Okay, so once that's pulled loose, then this can be pulled out like that. And there you can see. Okay? Round side away, and then the flat side has the little deal. Here's the tag light. Here's the reflector assembly. Let's go over and see what it takes. Well, to get the tag light out, you got to take the reflector assembly off first. With 11mm, you can loosen this up, this one, and this. And I'm just going to pop them right up there. Oops. And there. Here's a thing. There's two 5/16 nuts up underneath here that hold the license plate light on, and I didn't see where they warned me ahead of time that I was going to need a nut driver. So you don't have to worry, I'm showing you this, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably add this little detail, which when you start a project you want to have everything you need, because you may not have one of these. Okay, so get up in there, and 5/16 is perfect. Don't drop that sucker. There you go. I'm going to pop her right on here and go over and get the other guy. Down, and there's the other nut. Now, here we got to guide this out, and you see right away that we have a tie wrap in here. So I've got to cut that tie wrap. So let me go get my dikes. If I would have, you're going to need dikes to cut that tie wrap. With my little dikes, I can just kind of very carefully, now you don't want to cut the wire, so there. Once you have that out, and then you're probably going to reuse this, I don't know yet, we'll find out, but I'm taking the old piece out. Then you just remove your light, tag light, right there. And license plate bracket, this is the one that's going to hold the tag right here. And there's 3 holes. This goes through the center, making sure you kind of don't mess up that little clip. Pop this in. Of course you want the light facing down, and you just simply put it there, and then we're able to get these nuts on pretty easy there. Piece of cake. And we have the tool to do it with. Having the proper tools is really important to making a project go well. And if you have it all available, it even makes it better. So, now you see it's a little crooked, so you don't want to tighten this all the way up like that till you get her just right. So I'm going to loosen her up a little bit, and I'm going to twist this just a little bit. I don't want the thing there. Perfect. Okay, so now with it in that position, and you can go too far, so you got to hold it and then tighten. Well, step C is requiring a bolt that should have been taken out. So we weren't instructed to actually remove this older tag bracket, but it's obvious it's going to have to be removed. I'm going to help you. The one is a T30. Okay, T30 will do it, and it's in there tight. Let's see, I'm into that center one there. I'm going to hold this so it doesn't. Okay. You got to be able to spin tools with your fingers and all that kind of stuff. Okay, step C is to take the airfoil, new one, and install it with one of the removed torque screws, and that's what I'm going to do. And from the diagram, it's showing using this one that's recessed up, and it should go right up into there. And I'm just going to loosely put it up in there to hold it. That is step C. Step D tells you to take the reflector bracket, mount it on top of the tag bracket, and there's 2 holes and 2 slots here that should line up. And then what you do is these 2 screws, lock washer and flat washer that they sent you, you'll use those 2 to mount through those slots, taken away from the original torque screws that they sent you, or that you used for the old license plate bracket. And here again, I'm going to have to change. Oh boy. Didn't tell me this. It's an Allen screw. Okay, no harm done. It's a 5/32 Allen that you're going to need, so go and get it ahead of time and have it out. 5/32, and it fits perfect. Okay, I'm going to start one of them. Before I do that, I didn't know if I was going to be doing some adjusting, and apparently I'm not, because I'm going to cover up that screw. So I'm going to make sure that thing is tight and aligned good. Let's see. So you want to make sure this is tight and give it a good alignment. Yep. go. Well, it's gonna have to line up with the holes too. So let's see how that works. All right, now, this is for real. Okay, now, that's the way it's gonna look. And don't worry about adjusting right at this point. Just get this baby up in there. And you have to push up on it. Whoop. Put your wrench in there. I'm having a little difficulty. Let me see what the problem is. You're going to have the same problem, but it's going to be easier because you're going to see the solution. Okay. Folks, this really needs to be a longer screw by a little bit more, by maybe a 1/4 inch. I've taken the lock washer off and just put the flat washer on there and see if I can at least get that part on. So we're gonna check her out. I was able to get the screw in there without any washers at all, but I need at least a flat washer. Okay guys, you can't get the lock washer on there because the screw is not long enough. It needs to be a little bit longer. I would rather see them get a 1/4 inch longer or an 1/8 inch longer bolt to use the lock washer. But I think I can live without the lock washer. I'm just going to have the flat washer on there. And you line that up. Perfect. Believe me, I tried several times and cannot push that up hard enough to overcome that. And there's not very many screw threads up in there, so I still think it needs to be a longer bolt. Step E. Now when you've got it all mounted, you plug this back in now. Notice you line up the flat sides and the round sides. Do it like that. Plug her in and then pull that over and lock it. I'm not going to do that yet just in case I have an issue. I'm going to do that last. I'm going to test and make sure the tag light comes on when I turn the switch. It should. There's not been any wiring change, but we have a hanging wire, and the instructions for E says to secure this some way. So what could happen is we could take a short tie wrap and just simply squeeze this and tie it right there. Small tie wrap. Go right up here. This is the tucked tag bracket and airfoil assembly right here on Snazzy 2. And it looks really streamlined. Let's see if the tag light comes on like it should, and I don't expect it not to. And there we go.